Hello YouTube, this figure is called Humbot and he's from a series of figures called Atlantic Galaxy. They were released in 1978 and they went on into the early 80s. I grew up in the 80s so I mainly collect 80s figures, but recently I've been buying quite a few 70s figures and these ones I think stand out as a pretty cool toy line. This figure is complete with all of his different parts. He doesn't have his box, but I don't tend to collect boxes. So he's got this really cool little red metal detector, and then he's got his two yellow guns, and there's a little yellow base that he's on as well. Each figure was available in a range of different colours. Quite often they would just be two colour, like maybe light blue and dark blue, and the same with all the weapons. And sometimes they would be completely multicolored. So you would have one part of the body being one color, the arms being a different color, the legs being a different color, and then all the weapons being different colors too. If you were to buy these figures on eBay in their original box and complete, quite often they go from between about 100 and almost £200, so really quite expensive. So it's much cheaper, I think, to buy them not in a packet and just look out for really good bargain ones. That's what I've done. I managed to get this guy with all of his stuff for about £30. I really love any toy lines that have got quirky kind of alien characters that are just really interestingly shaped. This is that little base that I was talking about, and you can see it's got the footprints on it. It's just a really cool shape, and then like his feet just really snugly fit into it. It's quite satisfying just placing him on it. Okay, I've only bought 3 figures from this line so far because I managed to get them at bargain prices. So this guy Zefton, he's probably my favourite character so far. He's really cool looking. He sort of reminds me of like Fungus the Bogeyman a little bit. I don't know why, but I just love the shape of him. I love his cool teeth and everything. And then he's got his belt and he's got his gun. That's all of the parts that I got with this one, but I managed to pick him up for £14 on eBay. I thought that was a complete bargain. So obviously this is the version of the figure where he is the darkish blue and then his chest piece and the guns are all light blue in the packet. I really like this one. There is a green version of him as well that I really love. And I don't normally double up on figures, but I think if I see the green one for a bargain price at any point, I'll probably pick that up as well because it just looks particularly alien-like. I will obviously look out for his other guns on eBay, and if I can find them at bargain prices, I'll pick them up too. I think I'll try to get most of the figures in this toy line just in 2 colours, but a couple of the rare ones I'd like to get really multicoloured. Okay, my third figure is this one. He's called Dynatlon, and he was probably my best bargain so far. I think I managed to pick him up for £11, but he has got some issues in that the ends of his hands have been kind of chewed or something. So I will need to get some replacement arms for him at some point. But as you can see, he came with all of his accessories. So he's got this really cool little red backpack. I'll show you the back of that as well. Some nice detailing on that, and then he came with his 2 guns. Again, I managed to get him just in the 2 different colours. Did you all notice that the yellow on this figure is completely different to the yellow on the Humbot figure that I showed you from before? It's a much paler yellow on this one. These figures are just a really nice size. They're really kind of robust, solid, and also they have got like screws on the back of some of them. So you can actually unscrew them to make it really easy to kind of replace arms and things if you want to. Or you could change, the head or the legs to different colours as well. Look at the size of those screws on the back. Really easy to remove. But yeah, look at his hands. They're completely chewed up. It's a real shame, but I will, like I say, look out for some other arms to see if I can pick them up cheaply. So that's my collection so far, just the 3, but you can see already they're looking really nice and colourful. What I'll do is I'll look out, like I say, for the green Zefton, and then I'll keep adding to this collection just like 1 or 2 at a time, and hopefully get it completed one day. And when they're all complete, it's going to just look amazing just on a little shelf or something. I recently posted up a video on the Micronauts aliens. If you haven't seen those before, check out that video if you get a chance because they are also really awesome and brightly coloured. Also in that video there was another figure called Matt Mason Scorpio, and that is a bright pink and purple figure, really cool looking. Okay, let me show you some of the other figures. This is Skyman. I'm not normally into figures that just look like people, so these are my kind of least favourite ones, but you can see there Skyman in various colours. And then we've got Sky Girl. She's got a bit of a risque top, and you can see she carries her little baby on her back, which is pretty cool. Then some different versions of Zefton. There's the green one. Look, there's a green one with green guns and weapons and things. Then you got Humbot, just in red and blue. There's a Humbot that's just in different shades of blue. I might look out for that one at some point because he looks pretty cool. You can also get this Humbot's Flying Saucer, but I don't think I'll buy that. It takes up too much space. And then there's this figure, which is really quite rare, called Sloggy. And he is just like this kind of cool, kind of slug type thing. And yeah, just a really, really interesting shape. This is probably my favourite of all the figures, but I think he's pretty hard to get hold of. Here's a differently coloured version of him. All of the images that I've found of him so far, he seems to be multicoloured. I've never seen an image of him where he's just two colours, but that doesn't mean that they weren't produced. Right, this is the final figure, Hypnos. Again, this is a really rare one. You hardly ever see him for sale. And you can see he's got a really dark coloured head and a couple of bits on his back that are the same colour. He's the only one that's got this really dark colour anywhere on the figure. Again, I really love the shape of him. He's really quirky looking, so I will try and add him to my collection at some point. I've just got to get lucky and manage to find one. Like I say, I haven't seen any for sale for a really long time. Here's a different colour version of him, and then I think this is like the same figure viewed from the back. So I think they normally came in those boxes, but you could also get them like this, just in sealed packets. They were originally released in Italy, that's where they're from, but they were sold all over Europe. Right, I'll leave you with an image of an entire collection. I found this on the internet, and somebody's obviously gone out of their way to collect some really nice, brightly coloured ones, and I think you'll agree they all look amazing together. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope it's given you a good insight into Atlantic Galaxy figures. Hit subscribe to see anything that I post up in the future. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.